Folks, it's simply Quake time. If only we could see it. It's quite simply time to play Quake. Quake 2 Enhanced. Which I guess is the third iteration of Quake 2? Nah, there's probably more. But this is the full night dive treatment. Like I guess like Quake 1 before. It's got all the expansion packs. It's got the Quake 2 64 levels. Because yeah, there was a game called Quake 2 for the Nintendo 64. That was not Quake 2. It's kind of like Doom 64, but at least that game had a different title. This game was just called Quake 2, and it was an entirely different shooter. It had colors in it, which is, I remember at the time, I was like, well, it's kind of stylistically like Quake 2, I guess. All right, so what are we dealing with here? What is Quake 2? You might be foolish enough to think it's the sequel to Quake 1. I don't know what would give you that idea. It's just called Quake 2, and it's the game that id Software made after Quake 1. But it's not. It's actually a game that they called Quake 2 because they couldn't get the rights to any other name. They own the copyright to Quake, so they're like, fuck it, it's Quake 2. Quake 1 was a game where you are a ranger. You're a transdimensional, like, psycho soldier fighting Cthulhu in these, like, astral planes and shit. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty much as sick as I make it sound. Except it's really low-key. That's the cool thing about Quake 1 is how moody it is. But it's also a really snappy, tight shooter. I think it was originally supposed to be an RPG, which is kind of what Hexen became, but even Hexen wasn't really an RPG. Anyway. Quake is just Doom guy on drugs. Not really. Quake is more like Aliens on drugs. James Cameron's Aliens. You are a space marine in the space war against the Strogg, or perhaps the Strogue. I think it's said multiple ways based on whatever the voice actor was feeling like in Quake 4, which is another story. Anyway, it's very like biomechanical horror. Lots of like cyberization of humans, and there's some bio horror in Doom, especially the remakes too. Doom 1 was a little more just straight up demons. But yeah, the reboot of Doom kind of leans into these vibes pretty heavily too, of just cramming tubes and plates into organic matter and then having these like hideous hellspawn abortions roaming around that are, I mean, it's part of a war effort in Quake 2. So anyway, in Quake 2, I guess the opening cinematic kind of tells you the setup to the literal plot, which is not super important because it's a boomer shooter. But yeah, it's not the sequel to Quake. In fact, there's never been a sequel to Quake. Quake 1. There's never been a game that's like that, where you're fighting Cthulhu and Eldritch Terrors in astral planes. A Medieval is really as close as it gets, which is why a Medieval fucking rocks. Anyway, they put out the VR update for Medieval too. I think there's another. Yeah, there's a level pack coming out for Medieval. And just in general boomer shooter news, Turbo Overkill hits 1.0 tomorrow. It got the most glowing review possible from Eurogamer. And I was even saying yesterday how you have to put on a turtleneck to read Eurogamer reviews. I think it counts for something if the most pinky out tea drinking outlet out there gives a positive review to what purports itself to be a mindless shooter, a boomer shooter. But I've often said you have to be very smart to be very stupid. The right kind of stupid. Anyway, let's play a video game. So yeah, Call of the Machine: The Reckoning. Those are the two mission packs. I guess there were oh no, wait, Call of the Machine's the new one. Yeah, I think Machine Games made another level pack for this. And their level pack for Quake 1 was fucking great. So I'm really excited to play this. Gonna do a QuakeCon subathon. I thought about it, but I have some plans this weekend. It would be either do a subathon or go to Bruce's birthday. So, surely you can forgive me for making the principled choice there. Should I try Nightmare? I thought Polygon was the turtleneck outlet. They purported themselves to be, but they pivoted away from that very fast when everyone realized that that was not profitable. Yeah, probably no with Nightmare. I remember Nightmare just not being fun. Like, okay. They redid the intro cinematic. That's a way higher resolution Quake 2 logo. Spoilers. I'm gonna have to add this to MediaTek now. Wait, why the crying emoji? Dragonkin.
Farewell speech as these brave soldiers took the fight to the Stroh's home planet. We, the rest of humanity, wish them luck and Godspeed as well.
Yeah! Yes! Name a better way to start a game than blowing up its logo. Sad because he's not playing Quake. I understand that. Yeah, I need to do another reading stream. Turbid's novel's right there. And I would love for, when he comes in for his bi-monthly visit, to tell him that we did in fact read his book. This is so sick. They re-rendered the whole thing? Who did it first, LucasArts or Quake? Like Day of the Tentacle? LucasArts' shooter was Dark Forces, right? Actually, now that you got me thinking now. Oh, blowing up the logo. Okay. How did LucasArts do every genre perfectly? There's so few... Westwood, like, there's so few developers, and a lot of them were just, like, firing in the 90s. And then, the industry was just like, wait, your games don't sell 2 million copies or whatever? Whatever was good for 2005, and they all just shuttered. Bizarre Creations. Rare's still at it, though. Rare still got the magic. You can't really release a game a year anymore. But I swear, Sea of Thieves is really special. It's a really special game. And even after people thought they lost their magic, they put out, like, Viva Pinata, which is one of the most wildly creative, cool games. It's so weird to see this. Hyper HD cinematics. Usually this never happens because you have to remake it all. Imagine having to remake all these camera shots and shit just by sight. Matching all the camera movements and framing and stuff. You have to make the assets and then spin a camera around them in exactly the same way. Did they re-record all the audio? I mean, this was kind of the problem with Blade Runner, the remake that Night Dive worked on. Is typically you can't just remake all the assets. Then you're just making the game. You're just making the game. And that's expensive. It's more expensive than a remake can usually allow you to do. Anyway, so because somebody clipped us on the way in. I like how the game starts with that. It's almost like an arcade game where you have to like blow people away as soon as they put in a quarter.
Establish communications.
Still can't quite read it. Hit markers, baby. Bitterman. But yeah, got clipped on the way in. That knocked my landing pod off course so I didn't get killed like the rest of my battalion. Now I'm a lone marine. Lone marine against the alien hordes. Oh shit! This is how they're doing items? Yeah, this game had a whole item system. Did I use it? I used it. Okay. Okay, and then compass shows you where to go. That's new. Oh, that's right. Shift is crouch for some godless reason. So this, I think, maybe they wanted to be as opposite audio-wise. Also, this music fucking rocks. Yeah, it's like, aesthetically, it's pretty much the opposite of Quake 1. It's loud, there's a million sound effects going off. Whereas Quake 1 is very, like, subtle. Its soundtrack is more just like a series of atmospheric, moody sounds. Yeah, Sonic Mayhem. The reason that all the real ones carried around a Quake 2 CD. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, Cammy, this is new. This came out today. Like, less than an hour ago. Quake 2 Remaster from Night Dive Studios. Available on PlayStation 4 and 5. Despite Bethesda being owned by Microsoft, so... I'm wondering if like, that specifically happened as soon as dust started getting kicked up about exclusivity. They were like, we need to be able to go to the courts and show them something. What? Silencer. Attack enemies while unseen to deal double damage. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I picked up the silencer in Quake 2, but I never knew what it was for and I never touched it. I'm gonna guess I have 30 shots now. That's really interesting too, because that kind of leans into the AI design, such as it is for this game. There were some things in this game that, like, some design features that the levels kind of try to put to the forefront. Lighting is an obvious one. That was the big deal with Quake 2. Is that, it's silenced. Toot toot. Is that you can have dynamic lighting. So a bullet moving across a stage can cast light per frame. You don't have to bake in the lighting now. Render it into the levels. And like muzzle flashes and stuff. Yeah, if you want to play Quake 2 stealthy. Oh, okay, I'm back down here. I only remember the silencer being in this location. Yeah, that was a weird thing that old shooters used to be more common in old shooters, was like entire mechanics that were just in one level one time. Because it was just a bunch of developers just kind of cranking out stuff and throwing them into a big bucket, and then somebody tried to tie it together into a game. I forgot this area was over here. I replayed BioShock recently, and one of the things that really stuck out to me was after like the first hour of the game, there's never another instance where you can use lightning to open a door. It just stops happening. They forget about it. Or I guess maybe they figure putting it in the levels is too frustrating, because the players can get wherever. Get up here? It looks like a ramp. That must just be another room, though. Music doesn't loop? Oh. There it goes, okay. Very familiar with the gap of time it takes the CD player to seek back around to the start of the track. Where Ken Levine been, though? Well, by all accounts, he got rid of most of the staff at Irrational. Pared it down to 10 people. I can almost get in there. And he announced his new project, which is named Judas. There was a trailer for it at the Game Awards, but I couldn't really make heads or tails of the trailer, to be honest. Aside from some story elements that are pretty Ken Levine. something about trying to like find absolution from guilt, and the name of the game is Judas. I'm just like, holy shit, man. Talk to a therapist. I'm sure he has. Like, I don't want to be too minimalist about it, but yeah, check it out. I mean, it's worth looking at. I don't think it'll tell you at all what kind of game it's going to be. It sounds like BioShock again. I guess. It didn't really look like BioShock. It didn't look like an immersive sim. But maybe it is. I don't really know what kind of game it was. Yeah. Oh no, my silencer. Who's the main character in Quake? Let's see here. In Quake 1, you're Ranger. In Quake 2, I think you're just Marine? Your drop pod has a name on it. It was like Bitterman or something like that. Okay, yeah, Bitterman. But yeah, they never call you that. And you never talk. In 3, you can be any one of many lovely characters from the Quake and Doom shooter universes. Plus, exciting new characters like Eyeball with Legs and Man on Cyber Hoverboard. Quake 3 fucking rocks, man. Quake 4, you are Kane. Yeah, that's right. I was hearing Peter Stormare's voice in my head, and it had to get to the part in the line where he said his name. Kane. A man like that could get us killed. That's great, Peter. No, we don't need another take. That's great. You said it normal. And that's what we asked. Why hasn't there been like a travelogue series where it's just like doing normal things with Peter Stormare? And it's just like, let me just full on pitch this now. I go pick up Peter Stormare from his like LA place or whatever. Surely he has a place in LA, right? And we just go get a coffee or something. And I ask him questions about Quake 4. I'm sure he loves talking about his role in Quake 4. What was that? I feel like that's the sound he'd make if I talk about Quake 4 at all. What was that? He'd just make unintelligible, confusing sounds. But imagine that for like 45 minutes straight while we drive through LA traffic to get one cup of coffee. Now that's content, baby. He does normal things in Swedish commercials now? Good for him. I don't know. I typically find that if you send positive vibes out to somebody you've never met, you're really rolling the dice because you never know what they're up to. But I think with Peter Stormare, it's probably safe. He's not like a weird sex fiend, right? Nah. They wouldn't have him on Swedish commercials if he were actually bad. Also, they toned the recoil way down on the machine gun, like way down. You used to basically have to drag your mouse down on the mouse pad as you were firing it to keep it trained on somebody. Now it barely recoils at all. It jerks around a little bit, but that actually makes it way better as a weapon. Oh yeah, this is like branching level path, right? Maybe not quite. Yeah, no, there's a secret level down there. Yeah. So Quake 1 had secret levels, which was actually pretty dope, and finding them was sometimes pretty hard. It was kind of like Mario shit, a little bit. Hidden caves and like switches you have to hit. But finding those all in a 3D environment was kind of a new thing. So it definitely had like in terms of a shooter, it had a feeling and an atmosphere that just wasn't possible before John Carmack gave the world the Quake 1 engine. I guess Ultima Underworld, probably. System Shock. Anyway. Yeah, the hidden levels were cool. What's interesting about Quake 2, though, something I kind of discovered it last time I played it, is that Quake 2 was one of the earliest games. I guess Duke Nukem 3D would probably be one of the earliest. But Quake 2 is one of the earliest games that tries to have their level design match the environment and the narrative of the world, versus there being a story to set up the action and then it's just a bunch of mazes, like Doom, which isn't bad, but there's not like there's no break room for the demons in Doom. But there are break rooms in like Doom 3. Not for the demons, but you know, for the people. So kind of applying a more natural logic to the level design of, if this were an actual place that people had to actually live in, what would it look like and how would it flow? That's kind of that's when it's fun, when there's lore bits that pull it the other way, like Resident Evil. But there's always like a crazy police chief who makes mazes and riddles in the station just for the sake of it being a video game. There's 2 secret levels in Quake 2 if I remember correctly. Also, you gotta find the secret John Carmack Ferrari room and the dev room. Now that, I don't know where those are. But if I get close, you can tell me. Did not know there was a Ferrari room in Quake 2. What's your favorite track? It's a good one. Look at that light. It's got that more like southern grunge. There's another one that has like a really cool, uneven looped guitar riff. It's like 2 time signatures that don't quite add up on top of each other. Oh, it's in the final stages of the game. Okay. I hope I remember I have that when I get to a boss. Are you defending Earth or attacking a planet? I can't tell. Both! The grand tradition of the US military. Both at the same time. Humanity's at war with the Strogg. And then we finally decided to invade the Strogg homeworld. Except it was a trap. And all of the cool Space Marines got killed, except me! So now I gotta go deactivate their planetary defenses. Which is, again, like, it's a directed setup that has a flow through the levels and environments. Does it automatically use adrenaline? It does not. 1 more health. I think, what is it? I don't know if the rebreather protects me from goo, but I'll use it. No, it does not. Now I hope I can run back and explore that water before this runs out. That's not back. We got this. Sploosh. 10 whole seconds of exploration. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, what? Oh. Oh yeah, they have a Quake 2 vinyl. I gotta get that. I got the Quake vinyl. And I think we're gonna have more storage for records soon. This is probably what led to the story of Starship Troopers. Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of similarities for sure. I would be surprised, though, if Paul Verhoeven or movie studios were looking at Quake 2 for story beats. Yeah, records are not the not the most efficient music medium, but there's a novelty to it. There's a physicality to it I like. It's fun to operate a machine and listen to music. Quake levels feel like sets from Verhoeven movies? Some of them, yeah. I guess it's just like grungy, boxy space tech. in Quake's situation, and potentially it's the same limitations to driving the aesthetic, but with older games, you had to use fewer polygons and like darker, muddier textures because they just kind of looked better at lower resolution. It's also why games used to be darker. It's easier to like, if a hallway's blending into darkness, then a repeated texture doesn't look as bad. Like you get a lot of texture variation from just the different lighting. So if you have a crappy muddy texture, but it goes into like a dark hallway, that kind of excites the imagination and gets more artistic use out of a low-res asset than just a full-lit hallway. Especially if you can't like add anything to break up sightlines. Didn't think this came up before Half-Life in '98. It did. You can see, so Half-Life is like the real turning point in not only a first-person campaign flowing through areas due to story reasons versus just being a bundle of levels, but also it added the scripted moments. So it's like there were baked-in level set pieces that would fire off when you walked up to them that made the world feel spontaneous and exciting. And then that way you could kind of control dramatic pacing too, because there were a lot of like macabre but humorous scenes that would play out in Half-Life. Yeah, Black Mesa is a character. Yeah, very diehard feeling. Also that idea of like, there were loads, but it would just put loading over the screen and then the game would keep rolling. So it was a very like seamless sort of thing. Which again, when just a few years ago, levels were these very monolithic things that you would play through, and like the level would be done, and then the entire world would go away, and then you'd go to the next level. Yeah, I think this is a free update, Juror. If you are an owner of Quake 2, it should now be this version. When you launch it, it should give an option of which version to play. Oh, and me without my silencer. But I think it is on PlayStation platforms for the first time now. Difficulty am I playing on? Hard, I think. Oh, those have got to be new footsteps. So crunchy. What am I up to now? Locate a powerful weapon. Huh. Trying to establish link to the command ship. Because I'm a good Marine. Yeah, having to hit like, even just something as dumb as like having to hit a switch or use a key on something that opens a door. Versus it just being like an arbitrary blocker in the level for... Okay, this was the... Okay, so you do the secret level to get the super shotgun. I always did like the super shotgun. I like that it has a handle. Oh yeah, also, there's some options. I like when you turn on CRT simulation, it like cuts the resolution. You can see all the little blockies around the hand and stuff. Let's see. It's interesting that you can turn on square particles, because I swear that Quake 2 actually had round particles even back in the day. I think Quake 1 was the one that had square. But I could be wrong. Yes, Wandering Yorin. The version on Steam right now includes this, or is this, but that also includes the original version of Quake 2. So, it is the old game plus all this now. It's just been updated. I guess the download size got bigger. That's the only change. What year did Quake 2 come out? I think it was 96? 7? Good question. What year did Quake 2 come out? 97. Because, yeah, Quake was 96. Man. rapid release date's another reason why maybe sometimes mechanics get developed, but there's no time to actually implement them into the stages. Or all the stages were designed before they even knew that thing worked. Trains, though. Can't put a good tram down. Do you think they're gonna loop back around again to making CRTs because it's so sought after in modern retro stuff? If there were money to be made in doing like CRT reproductions, I have to assume that somebody would have done it already. I'm gonna guess that just like sourcing those parts and building them, if you're not doing it at scale, it's just not worth it to make vacuum tubes again. I have to assume. What it seems like is way more attainable is just making converters and filters that essentially try to reproduce the CRT look on a modern display, which is kind of ironic, but yeah. It's interesting to me that like the CRT thing is sort of the gamer version of being an audiophile now. It happened. It happened. People got old enough to like lionize the old way, and which is not to say that there's no difference. There is, and I embrace that. But like, it's the new version of like grounding all your audio cables and listening to Cheap Trick on vinyl in your special audio room with your special audio headphones. You have your special dad time. Just playing through Contra 3 on a CRT. God, I wish I could play through Contra 3 though. Ah, there it is. You need to climb up the shit without breaking it. How ironic that we can play Quake 2 in CRT mode and buy Quake 2 soundtrack on vinyl. Is this the door that's locked? Yeah. That's the other thing about Quake 2, is like, not necessarily hub levels, but kind of hub levels. The idea that you can go in one direction, or that a level can have multiple exits, and you take one to do something, come back to that level and go through to another one. Maps where you see half of them the first time you come there, and the other half the next time, based on what you've done. Sin had some of that stuff. I think Sin and Quake 2 were... Well, no, Sin was a little bit later. Sin was on the Quake 2 engine, I think. Like Half-Life. Yeah. Well, the maps are still some... Well, yeah, I guess that counts as non-linear. Your experience in them is always going to be linear, because there's only one objective to do. Banjo-Kazooie did it? Yeah, I mean, Mario 64 did it. There were certainly games that used the concept, but in like an action shooter. Love that sound. So here's what I'm thinking. I've been thinking about something. Speaking of here. I think I got a stream refresh coming up. New aesthetic, new assets, new music, new transitions. The whole works. Just cuz. And I'm thinking of redoing my alerts, because I think the audio of the alert is way more important for variety's sake than the video of it. Right now I have video alerts, or the varieties in the video, the alert, different sub-GIFs. But it's not, I think the audio of a stream is more important, to be honest, because if it's second screen stuff, you're not getting rid of the Mac Bong. Oh, maybe. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But the alerts, though, are going to shift a little bit. Instead of being like hundreds of randomized internet GIFs, I think it's going to be hundreds of randomized video game sounds. So short little sound effects from like tons of different franchises. So the Hear It could be one of them. Use blue key card to enter alien bunker installation. Did I get the blue key? What did I just do? The Halo 1 shield charge sound? Yeah. There's tons of them. So here's what I'm thinking though. It's so brilliant. I can't believe how smart I am. Not only is that not only is that better for a side stream, but also it encourages chat interaction. You're gonna hear something and you're gonna be like, I remember that. Wow, exactly. Yeah, Yoda death scream. Arr! Colossus yell. Balls of steel. Yeah. Video games have a rich audio history. A lot of those sound effects and clips can be like 2 seconds or less. So here's the thing though. It's mainly predicated off of looking into StreamerBot, which thanks for, I can't remember exactly who recommended that, but top tier recommendation. I've watched a few tutorials. I think I have my head around the logic of how I'm going to get it done. I think the real thing is going to be writing scripts that can like randomize file path locations. It can do PowerShell shit. So largely I just have to be able to pass variables to OBS, which I'm sure it can do. It's just going to be figuring out the right calls and variable names and things. There's documentation for all that stuff. Gears of War headshot sound that was a porcelain jar breaking and a watermelon smashing mixed. Man. Yeah, a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of good stuff. You guys aren't even thinking about like the classic sound effects. Like a Mario coin. Oh, damn, man. I'm getting ripped up. Let me see if I can backtrack. Do I have like... There it is. No. Machine gun. Rocket launcher. See, there's a lot of good shit. Yeah, one-up sound. See, you're thinking about it. You're already thinking about it. Exploding with ideas. That's how brilliant I am. Yes, got something. Okay. On the queen. Yeah. The thing is, like, for most games, there's usually just a zip file of all the sound effects extracted and pretty. Or there's a YouTube video with them all laid out, so it shouldn't be too hard to just... What I want to do, kind of like I do with MediaTek, really, is just toss them all into this giant folder and then have a script that picks one of them at random. Easy enough, right? And then it would be super easy to, like, develop other tiers of alerts. Like, let's say you're a tier 3 sub. Well, then you should get a beefy sound effect. I could just sort by, like, length. And everything above 5 seconds is, like, tier 2. Everything above 10 is tier 3. Hell, dude, I could probably write that into the logic of the script and not worry about it. Oh! Serious Sam screamers. Man, iconic enemy. I love these little grenades. Little twist tops. Some of that stuff I feel like that has got to only be a tool for playing on like ridiculously hard difficulties. A hand-thrown grenade. I guess you can bonk it around corners and stuff. Oh, the clear, yeah. Little coconut rattle sound of the clear. All right, everyone, I want you to know that I've committed a cinematic sin. Last night, I really wanted to watch Monty Python and the Search for Holy Grail. Speaking of clacking coconuts. But instead, I found out that Peacock actually has loads of shit movies. All the Asylum movies are on Peacock. I used to look through Amazon Prime, or Prime Video, for garbage trash movies, and there's still a few there. But I'm here to tell you they're on Peacock now. So I was scrolling and I saw, what is it? Battle Beyond the Stars or whatever? And I was like, wait a minute, is this that one with the fucking... like... Is this that one with the cowboy robot? And then I started it, and I saw the credits. There was like somebody credited Cowboy, and I was like, oh, okay, well, then I guess it's that movie. No, it turns out that was Star Crash that I was thinking of. I've never seen Battle Beyond the Stars because, yes, it has a titty ship. The ship in Battle Beyond the Stars is straight up it's a uterus with tits that's flying through space. And it has a matronly voice, too. It chides our Luke Skywalker of the piece. It's always like nagging him and shit. So he's straight up crawling into his mother's womb to explore space. And there's a whole part in there about a doe-eyed woman who doesn't know about procreation. They have to have an awkward conversation about it. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's something really magical, speaking about Ken Levine games, there's something really magical about giving people who have trauma and have never gone to therapy a lot of money. Or like Moonwalker. Yeah, yes. When I saw Roger Corman pop up, I was like, oh shit, here we go. It's a fantastic movie. You know what? At some point I was like, oh, this is kind of like trying to be like Barbarella, except it's not nearly as awesome. But once I thought that, I was like, all right. All right. It's a must-watch. If somebody knows what they're getting into, yeah, it's a must-watch if you like campy movies. I guess if you saw it as a kid, yeah, it'd probably blow your mind. I mean, it is a movie that seems like it's specifically designed to target adolescents because of its treatment of sex. And the giggly, weird nature that it happens to address the topic. It's free on YouTube. What? Battle Beyond the Stars is free on YouTube, and I had to pay a monthly fucking subscription to Peacock for it? Damn. Oh. Grew up with campy sci-fi, Ice Pirates, Time Bandits. Yeah. It's funny you bring up Time Bandits, too, because I saw Jabberwocky is on Peacock, and I was like, ugh. Man. What is it with Terry Gilliam, man? Terry Gilliam's one of those filmmakers that I'm glad has done their thing, or is doing their thing. I don't know if he's still alive. But, nobody's ever made Terry Gilliam movies like Terry Gilliam, and that's not always the greatest thing. Adventures of Baron Munchausen? Wow, yeah, you really did watch all the 80s garbage, huh? I would be in love with that stuff if I watched it when I was a kid, but we were a Christian household that my dad also kind of reviled. This is the end of the unit. How dare you? What's the breathing? James Cameron did the special effects for Battle Beyond the Stars. That's interesting. Yeah, the special effects aren't bad. What's funny is like so much of Battle Beyond the Stars is people taking all the wrong lessons from Star Wars. But then again, that's like the 5 years after Star Wars, which is phenomenal. I love that shit. I love watching everything in that window after Star Wars where everyone was trying to make the next Star Wars. And they were like doubling down on the different elements of Star Wars that they thought made it popular. So it's like Battle Beyond the Stars is Star Wars, except the models are like way more detailed. It's got like Star Trek the motion picture level masturbatory shots of ships flying through space. It's more dream. It's like Seven Samurai, really, because this dude's gotta go around and recruit all these weirdos to defend his peace-loving village. So it uses space as almost this absurdist framework to just be very dreamlike with its characters, its logic, and its story flow. Which again could be very. You could read that into Star Wars. I just love Star Wars coming out, and like everyone's like, yeah, people love these like gritty crime dramas and these harsh real world stories, and then Star Wars comes out, which is just nonstop bullshit, and everyone's like, well, fuck it, we thought we knew. And here's this fucking thing. Oh, Corman said as much. Yeah. By the end of it, I was like, when they had the shot of all the weirdos just kind of hanging around, I was like, okay, all right, this is Seven Samurai. It's a hornier, less mature Seven Samurai. What's your opinion on the idea that early 2000s comedies like Don't Mess with the Zohan will be seen the same as schlocky 80s camp is viewed today? Maybe. We're far enough away from them to kind of understand the societal, I think, the reason that those comedies were made. The problem is those were all downstream of actually good comedies. I haven't seen Don't Mess with the Zohan, but Zoolander is really good. Zoolander 1. It's just a good comedy. The elements you can probably read into it from being an aughts comedy is its absurdism. But all comedy is a little absurd. Speaking of absurd comedy, Twisted Metal was actually pretty good. It reminded me of anime, but like good anime, but it's still very anime. It's like, it kind of was like, man, this is kind of what Cowboy Bebop was trying to do. But with like, ugh. It has the right amount of style. It doesn't grasp for more style than it is able to execute. But yeah, in terms of the aughts comedies, the problem with that is like, yeah, 80s Camp had less production value, which gave it a charm. 80s Camp was also like more confident, I feel like. Aughts comedy is weird. It's kind of fragile. There's not a whole lot of confidence in its jokes or its themes, and it's not comfortable really taking anyone down a peg, aside from like the most like, well, I guess all comedy was kind of like that, just hitting. 80s comedy was fun because it would always go after like Blue Bloods from the 50s, old money. There'd always be some snooty fucking asshole who gets a pie to the face. Aughts comedy is more like, aughts comedy was all about defending your right to be a loser. Which a lot of 80s comedy was too, but it wasn't even against rich people. It was more just like against a boss or an asshole or whatever. I think post 9/11 America was a little directionless, aside from like pro-military movies. Those had a direction. Black Hawk Down. Well, I don't know. Calling that pro-military is a little strong. John Cena's the Marine. Grandma's Boy was pretty good. I finally watched that the first time. Because I thought it was going to be one of the like puerile... The people that liked it made me think I wouldn't like it, because there was a lot of bad comedy out at the time. But no, Grandma's Boy was all right. But yeah, Grandma's Boy just kind of ended with a big party, right? Grandma's Boy might be the last like real 80s loser slacker movie. I mean, Dodgeball was kind of like that. Lovable slacker. Gets by in the end by taking things easy. That was kind of the 80s, I think, is that the comedy wave was a pushback against the like, oh, squished, yes. It was kind of a pushback against the coke-addled, make all the money you can kind of lifestyle. '90s comedy felt like a bunch of people that missed out on their childhood and wanted to make things that were very whimsical and lighthearted, but still had touches of like, I wish I could connect with my dad. That was '90s comedy. And then yeah, aughts comedy came along and it was just like gross out humor and absurdist jokes, which can be good, but often is not. Because it's easy to do that wrong. Yeah, Dane Cook movies. Fucking Jamie Kennedy. Malibu's Most Wanted. The hit movie Malibu's Most Wanted. Which I haven't seen that one. But no, like there's basically the Will Ferrell line of comedies is kind of as close as you can get. Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory or whatever. I guess it's for future generations to decide. I don't know. I've gone back and tried to watch some of those. They don't embody the aughts as much as they should, because I think they were trying to not be. They were not trying to embrace the current time. I think people wanted escapism. So unlike the 80s movies that very definitely took place in the 80s, you have a lot of aughts movies that really could have taken place anytime. And really it's almost that defines them, that they don't really embrace anything about their current time or culture. Mr. Movie Guy not having seen a bunch of movies. I really haven't. I'm not a movie guy. I just have opinions. I'm not telling you they're well-researched or well-founded. I've seen Heat and The Godfather. What do I have to have seen to be a movie critic? What's the list? I watched The Tender Trap again the other day. Frank Sinatra and who knows what else. One of the earlier movies about like a swinging party boy learning that the family life is actually what's important. It's interesting too because like comedies from the 50s, especially like romantic comedies, you know they're the 50s because thematically they definitely reinforce all the values of the 50s. And you could say that about the 80s. I've often thought that. Cunt Money, hello. How you doing? Is it over here? Huh? Ah. Tricky, tricky. Yeah, you hit a switch, it like makes the thing bash out the wall. Scripted level interaction. Here's how unqualified I am to talk about movies. I think The Godfather Part 2 was really pandering. I think all of the things that The Godfather 1 did really subtly, Godfather 2 did again, but worse. And everybody thinks it's better. You know what? Damn. It actually is pretty fitting that Last of Us Part 2 is called that and titled that. Like, they even kind of stole The Godfather's font. And that's exactly how I feel about Last of Us Part 2 as well. That, like, there was interesting character design study and framework, and it had the audacity to be subtle in Part 1. And then Part 2 comes along and does nearly the exact same thing all over again, but louder and dumber. And then it just jumps around in storyline to give you the illusion that the story's more complicated and interesting than it is. That's my big hot take, and that's why I'm not allowed to talk about film. Oh yeah, oh! I got bonked. Let's see how long we can get him ranting about Last of Us 2. Actually, I'm kind of curious now, yeah. See if you can get me going. Because at this point, I've said everything that I could say, right? What could possibly be left to say? What new revelation could I come by? I hear him running around up there. But I would hate Apocalypse Now. I liked Apocalypse Now. It was okay. It's been a while since I've seen it, though. To admit. Neil already said he doesn't want to change anything story-wise from the game, so get ready for that crap. All right, that's fine. It should have been a show. I don't take any particular issue with the story beats of the game. I'm just glad I don't have to watch it. Yes. Lawnmower Man is the actual best movie. Name a movie that does more than Lawnmower Man. Name one. I'll wait. Oh, I should have waited. I guess I didn't wait. Ah! Ah! I don't want to be down here. Shit! Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Damn it. You've named the one movie that did more for cinema than Lawnmower Man. Man, Loopbox, I don't even know. I didn't even know that was a thing. I've learned a new thing that people were mad at The Last of Us 2 about. Ah, Jesus Christ. Straw fell out of my lip while I was sipping. And then it splurted on me. I got coffee cummed. It's just as great as you can imagine. I'm telling you. Yeah, comedy's just been in a weird place in movies for a long time. Because I think kind of new media sort of took its place. People went to YouTube and stuff for comedy. So it either had to be intellectual comedy that nobody wanted to go watch, or it had to be even stupider than YouTube, which was also difficult. I blame Lonely Island. Lonely Island shouldn't get blamed for anything. They were like one of the best comedy troupes. I guess Derek comedy. Why pay to watch movies when we can pay you to tell us about the movies? I feel like that's got to be the hidden desire of every critic, right? Don't consume the media, just consume me telling you about it. Ah, I was on the wrong side. Ah! Oh no! Oh no. There's the thing that all media is trying to attract all audience. Yeah. I mean, that's not necessarily a new phenomenon. The hell is... What? But I agree. Movies trying to be everything for every audience member is a little aggravating. Because it just results in movies that don't say or do or mean anything. Like some movies used to like lean into very obvious themes. Take Avatar 2, for example. Parents protect their kids or whatever. It's like they say it out loud multiple times. And it's a silly theme to reinforce, but the audience loves it. But somehow you can make like I think I put this at the feet of Nolan, honestly. Movies that pose a theme, say maybe it's this and maybe it's that. And then the movie ends. And it gives you the illusion that you've thought about something, but you really haven't. So it's almost like that kicked off this wave of like pseudo-intellectual films that are somehow even less, like dedicate less to a viewpoint than other movies. Oh, Jackass 3? Now that's an amazing movie. Cinematic event. I still need to go see Barbie. Saw Oppenheimer finally. I don't know though. Some dumbass teens sat next to me and looked at their phones and talked for most of the damn movie, so it's like, what's the point? I'm kind of honestly, I can't. I don't know, I've done my old man cane shaking at the cinematic experience enough. But that's why you go to Alamo. Yeah, that's the thing. I got tricked by the 70mm bullshit, which honestly like was meaningless. I feel like the movie would have looked exactly the same on a digital projector, which is another reason why I shouldn't review films, I guess. I want to read a review where a critic is just like gushing over the sumptuous visual feast of 70mm. No, I don't, actually. I don't want to. I don't know why I said that. Enemies can jump! Didn't like Avatar. How can you not like Avatar? It's freaking people riding like it's a freaking warrior tribe riding badass dolphins taking down mechs and shit. It's the most like Lisa Frank binder cover brought to life. It's flippin' phenomenal. And also you can't discount the Jimmy Cam. The directing is just really phenomenal. And Avatar 2, basically like the final act, where they're fucking up that whaling ship, is so good in terms of it just being an action spectacle. So many tracking shots of people doing rolls and flips and stuff. I love that stuff. Anyway, Avatar 2 is a great movie. I'm supposed to go warehouse? Destroy Strog logistical train. It's probably at the supply station, huh? Will it even let me go here, I wonder? Oh, okay. You need the power cube. Am I going to jail for not liking Avatar? Absolutely not. You're allowed to not like Avatar. How unlucky is the native ecosystem of Pandora, though? Everything in it is coincidentally really valuable to humans. Yeah, I think if you want to read into it, I think it's just that. It's just because no other race has gone and exploited it yet. it's unexploited, so of course there's a lot of stuff that's good there. It's the tomb that hasn't been raided. What's up, Signified River? I am with the U.S. government. Did you or did you not associate with a known communist, Steph? Also, what's your opinion on the Baldur's Gate 3 standards drama? Steph would never be a communist. She likes buying shit too much. But yes, I've associated with her openly. I hope this doesn't affect my ability to stream on Twitch. But as far as the raised standards drama, I don't even know where to begin, honestly. It's like, it's so many layers removed from any reality of game development. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so condescending to anyone that might have participated in that discussion, but like, when Rockstar released GTA 3, that was becoming a problem. And it's been talked about for decades. So it's also meaningless in context of Baldur's Gate 3 unless Baldur's Gate 3 outsells every other game. And it's not going to. It's just not that kind of game. So it's just caked in so many layers of not really understanding how the business works that there's not a whole lot to comment on. Baldur's Gate, if it gets 10 million, that's going to be amazing. But that's still like way less than Diablo 4. So raised standards aren't what's... Like, standards don't sell games. They don't. Brands sell games. Brand awareness sells games. Companies that want to make as much money as possible are not wringing their hands about how to copy what Baldur's Gate did, because copying it's not easy. It was kind of what happened when Blizzard released World of Warcraft. Like, they were able to make that game because they had money flow and the development talent. And then it started to take off. Is this the Baldur's Gate 3 is too good and nobody else can do that thing? Sort of. I honestly don't know what it is. It's a lot of worrying on behalf of developers who have never expressed that worry themselves, or are already so keenly aware of it that gamers suddenly becoming aware of those market conditions is pointless. Like, I don't know. It's a wave of people that are getting a little bit older and starting to think about game development in more adult terms. But they're not quite there yet. Oops. Or, like, when Rockstar released Red Dead 2, GTA 5. You're not allowed to make a game like... I think Cyberpunk's a good example. It's funny, like, everybody was in this mode and nobody thought about it. But everyone classified Cyberpunk as a GTA. And Rockstar is the only company that can make GTA. Not because they have all the talent, although that's a big part of it, but because they have the bankroll and the software and have been making that game for decades. And they have the time. So here's Cyberpunk, who accidentally convinced people that it was trying to be a GTA-like. I mean, you get into a car and you drive around and you show people doing things in the world. I think it's not unreasonable for people to expect that it's going to be a GTA-scoped game. But nothing can be a GTA-scoped game. Except GTA. So we're all waiting on GTA 6 because no other developer can make that. Now that's... People want to, though, because GTA sells 100 million copies. 100 million. I think that's what GTA 5 might be up to by now. And then that also happened to be a gateway drug to GTA Online, which just prints Rockstar more money. But... would it be the worst thing if Baldur's Gate 3 sold really well and everyone tried to make that game? And fell a little short? That's still a good thing. It's just like, I just don't understand what the concern is. 185 million! God damn! So yeah, they're in another tier of sales, but they can only get there because they had the tier before it. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 kind of leapfrogged some tiers, I guess? Where the hell am I supposed to go? Maybe it's time for the old, there it is. The old compass. Oh, I gotta jump. Right. And also there's other games like it, yeah. Wasteland 3, Pillars of Eternity. It's, I don't know, it's a conversation in a vacuum. And it's hand-wringing about issues that developers have been have been dealing with practically for decades now. Unless there's some angle to it I don't understand, but yeah. I mean, Zelda came out. That has like a scope of content and ridiculousness to it. I think it's also just the novelty that there hasn't been a game like this in a while. And for a lot of people, it's probably the first game they've played like this. So that's pretty cool. I like that sound. I'm fully on Baldur's Gate 3's side in this. I mean, I guess I am too. What's the other side, though? Are there even sides? There's no sides. The other side is an imagined developer that wants to make Baldur's Gate 3 but can't. Except in a world after Baldur's Gate 3, it's only more likely that you'll get a green light for a project like that. So again, what's the concern? Is it that in the future, a hopeful developer will release a game like Baldur's Gate 3, and everyone will be like, this isn't as good as Baldur's Gate 3, and then get mad at it? Because they probably will. But my brother in Christ, that's you. You are that community. So just don't do it. Or if people start to do it, tell them to shut the fuck up. I don't know. Baldur's Gate 3 against humanity. I mean, human nature is a hell of a thing. And I do agree, there's right to be concerned that the gamers will ruin a good thing, because they love doing that. Ruin a good thing by complaining. Huh. I have anxiety when it comes to certain games. I always felt I would be playing Cyberpunk wrong, even though that's not a thing. Builds kind of make me anxious. Oh, okay, so just the statistical aspect of it, you always feel like you're buying the wrong skills. This just moves around, huh? All right. Oh, I needed to go through that door. All right. Hey, what's up, Love Black Girls? Ow, ow! All right. Wait a second. Oh boy, this was a while ago. Then again, I think I did a lot of running back and forth, not climbing the boxes. Yeah. Oh. Had to move out of your old house into your sister's house. That doesn't sound good. Well, hope everything works out. Whoa! Did the barbarian leap? I suppose you can have a real fear that other developers will learn the wrong lesson. Like Barbie will spawn mindless toy property movies instead of insightful comedy satires. Well, sure, but yeah, maybe. That's what the free market does. I mean, I was just kind of talking about the movies that swam in the wake of Star Wars. But would you have wanted 1 billion Star Warses? I'm kind of down with, like, it's okay, I think, to see something and be like, oh, this is like that thing, and then appreciate the ways in which it tries to be different. Even if those things are market-driven and like, product-driven. Oh, okay. Landlord raised the rent by $900. What? That shit's fucked up. I'm kind of, well, I guess it's up to individual cities to do rent control, but it really does seem like that's a whole cultural factor going on now. If everybody raises prices at the same time, then everybody makes more money. And that seems like it's, like that's where everyone's at. And it just keeps going. I guess it'll just keep going until people run out of money. Maybe an odd one, but I still enjoy D4. Although my gaming sessions are not long. Maybe slow drip until grind wears on me. That's exactly how I think they intended you to play that game. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll probably get some bad movies after Barbie. Is that the worst? There have been bad movies for a while. There have been like games that have imitated others and copied their formula and tried to do it faster and cheaper. What I don't get is that we've been through this dance before. Like, why aren't more people offended at Dragon Age 2? and I brought this up before, but like, you want to talk about the absolute worst series of events is people just knocking off the like facade of Baldur's Gate. Not even trying to make an interactive RPG of any kind, but just making like an action RPG that has the most bland like combat, and I don't know. Nah, people still like, oh, Dark Age 2 is pretty good. All right. Claim pretty much died. No one's playing Diablo 4. I'm still getting... Uh-oh. Shouldn't have done that. I'm still getting invite requests. So I really need to look through and see in the clan who's active and who isn't. Give me that power cube. I really... there's no way to do that, though. I really wish they'd let me sort by activity or something, so that I could open up space. Have some new people in the most powerful active clan in all of Diablo 4. But yeah, like, take Diablo 4 and Baldur's Gate 3 as a case study. I would put a lot of money, a significant amount of money, on Diablo 4 outselling Baldur's Gate 3. It's not a bold prediction, but that kind of, if you think about it in those terms, that kind of moots out any concern that you might have about negative market reactions to Baldur's Gate 3. Also, I don't know. It's just not something you can copy. The only way to make Baldur's Gate 3 is shitloads of hard work. Maybe there's a different... Oh, maybe I can go down the train tunnel? Oh, the floor is off now. Power cube. How many power cubes do I have? Just a simple 3. Oh, that's why this event was here. Held up buying Diablo and you're glad you did? Yeah? Oh, they made... Yeah, that's right. They made Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, I mean, they've clearly been building development expertise in this genre. Because for the last 15 years, no one wanted to make a game like this. Because it's a pain in the ass. Ooh, look at this big guy. Diablo 4 subreddit is so toxic. Dude, it is. It's an unfortunate it's an unfortunate pastime that seems to... I always remember the archetype about like old dudes that would just get together and talk shit. Like they just complain about everything. Young people, things in the news. Everyone's stupid as hell. And I don't understand how people can get on Reddit every day and just actively look for reasons to be mad about something and then just post about it over and over again. Especially when, like, there's good games of every kind out there. So you really have no excuse if you're just sitting there mad at Diablo 4 for not being this or that. But some people like to be mad. They like to be mad and they don't even... Like, very few people can acknowledge it out loud. Like, no, I'm just here to be mad. I can at least respect that a little bit. Yeah, there's porn. You could sit here punching up a 5-page article about how stupid Blizzard is and posting a YouTube video where somebody's just cashing in on how, like, enslaved your brain is. We need a word for, like, people that get over the rainbow about that stuff. Like Destiny, Call of Duty, and Diablo people who are just so... like, completely and hopelessly hopelessly like indoctrinated. They can't do anything else, but they hate that they can't do anything else. But there's an inability to take responsibility there, so they're just kind of like ghouls, just roaming around, just screaming about a game that they hate. It baffles me that people have the energy and time to draft those manifestos. Yeah, Nick. Well, sorry, Yoren said that, but Nick also, I agree that people... It is regrettable, because I think, ultimately, an amount of pity is to be deserved, but that's a little condescending. But, yeah. A grown adult ought to have something more constructive to do than complain on the internet about an entertainment product. Even if it's, like, just as simple as self-gratifying. Just go for a walk in the park. That has a more positive benefit to the universe than punching up a screen and seeking validation from others about your anger. But people don't do it because they're in good mental places. I think that's where I keep going back to. People congregate there because they revel in that kind of thing because they don't have anything better, I guess. And that's the regrettable part of it. It could also just be children. Yeah, it's easy to assume that it's a... I mean, for all we know. Can't make a ton of assumptions, I guess, but... It was, for some reason, I never quite connected the line between, like, YouTube comments being really shitty, but then also most of YouTube's viewership being kids and teenagers and babies. Because now it's like, I feel like that same energy, some of it is on Reddit, a lot of it is on TikTok. It's just people saying whatever, like, fucking cruel thing pops into their head. Like a 4-year-old with no filter. So I think it's also maybe difficult to expect self-awareness and empathy from random user accounts on the internet because they might be children. It's the classic Twitter thing about it should be illegal to see 19-year-olds posting. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. This is the real track here. A lot of people complaining about D4 also got to level 100 in 2 weeks, and then they complain there's nothing to do. Yeah. It's like... And when they pushed out a patch that kind of slowed things down, everybody was like, this is the worst thing you could ever have done! You idiots! You morons! You simpletons! We only play Diablo to kill things quickly! But you have to, like... There's no logical follow-through. It's just like, serotonin go down, bad. Yeah, waste of my time. They say leveling their 50th character. I don't know. I don't have much of an opinion on Asmongold, but I watched a whole video of him reacting to whatever the patch change was, and I was like, holy fuck, man. I mean, I get that it's his job. But, like, goddamn. There's so many, like, depressing assumptions. You're just, like, you're fully in the lifestyle, I guess. You, like, haven't stopped to critically think about games as entertainment or what they mean or how they factor into your life. It's just serotonin good. I mean, that's how most people operate, but still. Yeah. I'd say that's true signified. Modern George Wood, maybe? George Wood for the modern era. I think that kind of tracks because the things, well, I'm assuming a lot there, but some of the takes have been George Wood-esque of just like fully baked into the mindset that as the consumer, my entertainment is valuable and should be fought over, and that as a consumer I have perfect visibility and clarity on why any decisions were made and like just all sorts of things. Oh, ah! Sethio, I don't know if I thanked you. I hope I did. Thank you. I think I need to get like a download on discourses just so I can complain about that on stream. That's my complaining. I complain about discourse, which is just as imaginary as a lot of the things that other people complain about. This is odd. That video where Linus Sebastian complained about Intel and the direction of the industry for a half hour in Taiwan was the standard? Yeah? I don't think I know that one. I mean, I guess he interacts with all those products. He's probably... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's comforting to not know. Damn, man. These guys suck. God. You can't really dodge their little tongue thing. Definitely don't go to his subreddit. It's a cesspool of gamers complaining about diversity and women in games not being hot enough. Oh, Asmon? Or Lina? It doesn't sound like a Linus thing. Yeah, it's a bummer because, like... The people are right to want hot chicks. There's nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't want to look at hot video game babes? But what's frustrating is in that conversation, there's no acknowledgement, seemingly no acknowledgement, that they are no longer the, like, peak demographic. Man. You make somebody a core demographic for, like, 10 years and it sticks with them their entire life. They are forever stung not being the special boy anymore. Also, there are still hot babes in games.
Computer updated.
Just play the ones with the hot babes in them. Ugh. If you're not finding video game babes, then you're just not looking hard enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, my God. Capcom is out here trying their best. You want to look at the cast of Street Fighter 6 and tell me that you don't want to get destroyed by all of them? A lot of those are in fighting games? Exactly. Tekken 6 just announced the Coffee Queen of Peru? Jesus Christ, I've never been more aroused at a video game. Azuka or something like that? Can't remember her name. Too horny. You want me to do? Proceed to detention center. All right. Women are full of poo. Check for yourself. I don't believe it. I mean, shit. All the women in Resident Evil games lately have been sexy as shit. And, like, not even in a pandery way. I remember, like, Jill from the Resident Evil 3 remake was legitimately hot, and she didn't have to wear, like, weird clothes to get there. She just, like, had a really awesome camera persona, carried herself well, great action lead. I was like, fuck, this is great. Kind of a thin game, but it was what it needed to be. I don't know. Azucena, yeah. That's the one. I feel like that means sugarcane. But maybe I'm making that up. Fighting games is one of the few genres where you can't blame your loss on somebody else. That's what I love about it, man. I love 1v1 competitive games. Because, yeah, you can't... There's no excuse. I can't stand that shit. Also, yeah, the women of Resident Evil. Hard comparison when their beefed out counterparts are right there. Hey, Shuklin, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Detention center. It said proceed to the detention center, but I don't know if that means going back. It does not. This is actually a pretty good thing to add. Yeah, hot dudes. That's important too. Yeah, there's a glowing arrow trail now. Which is actually kind of useful in Quake 2. Oh, I missed this bad. Damn it. It's funny you brought up Resident Evil. They were complaining in the subreddits about Ada not being hot enough. Ada was never like a... I think these are just dudes telling on themselves. Her design only improved. She was never like a... Ada was always kind of a femme fatale. Well, yeah, but femme fatale's like... She still pulled that off in the remake, I thought. I don't know. Yeah, they rounded Joel's shoulders, made him soft. Yeah, video game dudes out here with the calipers in Photoshop measuring. Man, sure is evidence how many, like... These are some snowflakes, really. That's the real snowflake. If you see Ada in remake, it's like... Also, compared to old Ada, find me an Ada in any Resident Evil that's hotter than the RE2 remake Ada. I mean, I guess she was, like, naked and gooey in 6, so maybe that. But I don't think those fellas were big fans of 6, if I'm gonna guess. Yeah, right, Zane? She was supposed to be the hot Asian girlfriend I wasn't allowed to have. Oh, this dude, hold on. Boom! Boom! Oh, Darkside Chronicles. I gotta play that. That's the rail shooter, right? That was one of the rail shooters Capcom made for the Wii. Those games look bananas. I'm into it. Ah. Their favorite character was Pierce Nivens. Good old Pierce. You killed them! They're all dead because of you! Alright, now let's go. Is your PTSD cured yet, or what? Oh, sweet Pierce. When are we gonna learn what happened to Pierce? That's right, he turned into a lightning monster and sucked into the bottom of the ocean. What a hero. But we don't know what happened. Maybe he got better. You don't know that he didn't get better. So, damn it, I missed health. Aw. Just pulling up a line from Pierce. Any line works because they're all great.
acquired. Personnel located. Exiting warehouse area. Entering jail area. Destroy security grid protecting industrial region.
Computer updated.
Penetrate the defenses. Awfully topical. Anyway, just jerk off, you lunatic. Also, something tells me if you really want to find, like, Ada Wong doing whatever you want, it shouldn't be that hard on the internet. Something tells me there are artworks for you. So then it's just like, it really boils down to, like, frustration that my wants and desires are not the most important or validated. Me though. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was calling other people snowflakes while complaining that they weren't the center of pop media. Hope these Quake remasters finally lead us to a Quake reboot. It would stand to reason. Still don't know what id Software is working on, and it doesn't seem like we're gonna learn at this QuakeCon, which is kind of a bummer, but that's all right. They can take all the time they need. Oh, turn that alarm off. Yeah, I agree, Thornius. I'd love a Quake 1 reboot. Something like very slow, subtle, environmental, low burn, about like exploration. Again, a medieval is, I think, as close as it gets in terms of games that are out right now, and it's quite good. But yeah, it is. Oh, okay, that sets off the alarm. It certainly is fun to think about what a modern id Software could do. The problem is, I think, would be they'd probably want to figure out how to really distinguish it from Doom. And the new Doom has some Quake elements wrapped into it. Like, it does have some Eldritch shit. All the Maker stuff is not super adjacent to Quake, but it's in there. And they even talk about a Slipgate in Doom Eternal. So I don't know. The seeds have been planted. You could just do... I think if they were going to do another game like Doom, just Quake, it would have come out by now. Like if it was just levels, environments, new characters and things. Oh, that's right, this bird guy. Can you use this? Yeah, Medieval VR works really well. I need to play through that some more. It is fun chopping things with your spectral sword. Huh. So I don't know. I think after making Doom and Quake really not being that far away from Doom, or Quake Remake potentially not being that far away from Doom in terms of design and even maybe aesthetic, and also the fact that it seems to like they didn't release another game super quickly or announce another game. I guess Eternal came out in 2020. That wasn't that long ago. I don't know. It seems likely to me that they're probably just working on something new. I don't think I can use this. Oh, that's right. There's no use key in this game. No, they can jump. I thought couldn't they always jump? Little hammer fisty guys. Weapon switch is faster now? Okay. Yeah, they changed a couple of things. Guns don't recoil as much either. I'm gonna turn CRT mode off. Oh, so crisp. Yes, this is an updated version of Quake 2, remastered. Cool. Yeah, Rage 3. One of these days. Yeah, Strider. Id Software still seems to focus on quality of releases over quantity. Well, even then, releasing games every 3 years these days is pretty fast. But yeah, I was a bit bummed that they didn't get shouted out more for their treatment of Doom Eternal. It was theoretically exactly what everyone says they want out of a game. Like a mechanics dense, content dense single-player campaign. An inventive multiplayer mode. Didn't seem to really hit with a lot of people, but I thought it was still pretty fun to play. And then they kept releasing free content and stuff for it, skins and avatar pictures and things, for like a year after release. And you unlocked it all just by playing the game. I mean, I'm obviously a Doom fanboy, but even still, I thought it was a bummer that they I have to turn on a bad note with that trash last DLC. It wasn't trash. Jeez. Are you kidding me? Is that the excuse or people are using to be mad at, or to not celebrate its software? Come on. Also, that was all developed in quarantine. I didn't like DLC 2 as much as 1, but it was more of a story ending than a gameplay ending. People hated that it had so much platforming. I guess. People shouldn't be allowed to have opinions about things. Only me. Because my opinions are always correct. I don't even remember having that much platforming. Maybe it did, though. That was a pretty common take even about Eternal. People didn't like the platforming. But it's like... What? Okay, so you can have rooms full of enemies. You can have hallways. Like, how do you need to connect the rooms full of enemies somehow? Would you rather just walk down a hallway? I mean, I guess. People don't like jumping. What happened? This used to be a proper game culture where we jumped and landed on platforms. Didn't enjoy the final boss from an either story or gameplay perspective. I didn't really either. I don't know how you make an end boss that is a fitting end to that game, though. Boss fights have become a really tricky principle. The only people that seem to be able to do boss fights that everyone's okay with are From Software. But first-person shooter boss fights, it's like it can be really, really... Oh, what the? He knocked me back into the thing. It's just half a DLC and super under-polished. What felt unpolished about it? I don't know. It's like, to me, polish is one of those things that people use as a catch-all term. It was, I don't, like the stone imps were a little lame. I liked that they were at least trying to add a reason to use the autoloader for the shotgun. Oops, sorry buddy. It probably helped out. But like just having another enemy that's a different color that is like, this is only weak to blank. I was like, okay, that's starting to get a little like, I appreciate the attempts, and actually it does create interesting gunfights, but it's starting to feel a little, like it's a little forced. It's just, I didn't want the game to get to just like match the colors, which is how a lot of combat design can get. Hated the Marauder in Doom Eternal. As a normal enemy, totally disrupted the flow of the game. For a while. You can, once you learn how to put away the Marauders though, they're not that much of an issue. I thought the game did a good job of highlighting the introduction of the first Marauder and making it clear that it wasn't just an enemy. And then I think it was pretty cheeky with later having them just be enemies. And then the DLC having two at once. I don't know, Doom is all about Doom Eternal's level design. Leaned way more into toying with the player, I think. Wait, is this the... Oh, okay. But I get people not liking them. That gets into a whole... I remember that kind of going around back when Eternal was released. There was a huge philosophical argument about the just have reloading? No. I disagree. I think Chainsaw is better. This Chainsaw has implications. I mean, reloading is just you're not allowed to shoot for a while. Chainsaw is different. Chainsaw is a tactical advantage. Like, it's totally different when you get into the headspace of like how an encounter goes in Doom. If you can reload at a distance, then people would just run around in circles and stay at the exact right range. Forcing the player to get close means you have to adapt and change your tactics a lot. It makes the obvious decision difficult to do, especially when Chainsaw is a resource like many others, or ammo is a resource like many others. The thing is, too, it leans into the other mechanics. You have, like, stuns and freezes and flamethrower, and you have tools to get in and out safely, too. You just have to think about the cooldowns of all of those. I don't know. I'm tired of games using reloads. I'm tired of reloading as a mechanic. Another reason that I'll never forgive Mass Effect. Look at this. Demonstrating enemy AI. Not attacking me yet. None of those ticks are wrong, by the way. Here's the thing. And this is kind of what I was gearing myself up to the next discourse I was going to get mad at. Is all the folks that were mad about the Marauder, the philosophical arguments they'd be is like, oh, it disrupts the flow of the game, and like it makes me feel weak. I should feel strong as the Doomslayer. I just want to shoot things and kill. Great. Great. If you want to play that game that way, then just turn on the cheats. It's right there. But people didn't want to do that. So it goes back to this, like, the experience you want is right there. You're just mad that it's not this one. You're mad that that you feel like you're out of the default group now. You think the experience should have been this way by default. To the expense of everybody who likes it this way. Just turn on the cheat. Dispose of your ego, turn on the cheat, and be happy. Doom needed a disruptor, and Marauder is perfect. Do you mean like an interrupt? Because I'm here to tell you it has those. Something that I think about. Sure, yeah. I mean, the Marauder is a sticking point for sure, and I think it's knowingly made that way. Saying that it breaks the flow of the game, or that it's different, or that it like forces you to play differently. Id Software's over there being like, yeah, we know. That's on purpose. But and it's like it's totally fine for a player to not like that, or to opt out when that hits. But it's the intended experience. Everyone is free to not like the intended experience, much in the same way that I don't like the intended experience of The Godfather Part 2. I guess what I need to do, take my own advice, turn on cheats for Godfather Part 2, start watching it, and then just crank the brightness of my TV all the way down. Yeah, exactly. Watch Godfather Part 2 with cheats. Watch it on a CRT for the authentic experience. Can you pick up 2? No. Oh, of course I need the pyramid key. I'm just trying to find things to shoot. One thing I do love, I love reading, is kind of in concert with the whole CRT thing. Return to the detention center, deactivate yellow lasers. When it comes to backtracking, I'm going to use the arrows. I love that kind of like film and music, people are having discussions about the proper artist-intended way to play a game. When it comes to like CRTs and displays and things. What is your most I didn't care for the Godfather thing that was floating around on Twitter? Well, I mean, that's tough to say because there's people that just vent bad takes on purpose. So it's tough. I feel like if you want to, you never know if something's authentic or not. All of my bad takes are authentic. Actually, that's not true. But usually I chase them with some acknowledgement that I'm being a shithead if I'm being a shithead. Oh, I gotta use the restroom. Do you think video essays being so popular nowadays has anything to do with that? Maybe. Maybe. I think it's certainly an aspiration of many to become a media commentator. So you feel like you want to do it. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Tim the Sorcerer, thanks for the raid. I was just about to use the restroom, but I can do a little shout out before I go. Hello, Tim. Bang. I just realized you can pull, or rather in one of the tutorials I saw for StreamerBot, you can actually pull the URL to people's Twitch avatars and use it as a visual display. I'd like to do that. Okay, potty raid. I'll be right back. See you soon. Bum, 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 bum. I peed, everybody. Thought about getting a snack, but I decided not to. I think I've discovered the secret to weight loss. What the fuck? What the? What? I don't remember them being able to do that. Weird. Anyway, the secret to weight loss. Stop it! Oh, you have to give them, I bet. One. There we go. That's pretty cool. Anyway, the secret to weight loss is whenever you get hungry, make yourself wait like another 2 hours. It is Dianetics. It's L. Ron Hubbard's Dianetics. The secret. Here's the secret to weight loss. Oh shit! I'm out of ammo. Whenever you get hungry, watch Battlefield Earth, starring John Travolta, and you won't want to eat for a solid hour and a half. You know what's weird is like there's been a bunch of like ironic movie days where they show classic or cult films in a movie theater. I've never seen a single theater show Battlefield Earth ever. And why not? Battlefield Earth or Godfather 2? Gosh, which one is worse? Am I right? You know what okay, speaking of 2s, I recently saw Superman 2, which is supposed to be the good one. And there's parts about it. There's things about it to like, but there's some like weird comedy moments that are super weird in that movie. I didn't remember at all. It really felt like, well, I guess the production of that movie is a really fun story. I don't know it well enough to just recount it off the top of my head, but my understanding is that Donner was basically like filming 2 movies at once on one movie's budget, and he knew that and like got most of like did a ton of filming for 2 films and then ran out of money. He was like, I need more money. Also, this is 2 films, surprise. And it led to a whole budgeting shit with Marlon Brando because he wanted to get paid for appearances in 2 films. Like, it was a whole thing. And that was actually, I think, one of the first major discussions about actor compensation in film. I remember seeing an interview with Keanu Reeves of him talking about... fucking Christopher Reeve. Wrong Reeve. Christopher Reeve kind of being forced to acknowledge the ridiculousness of Marlon Brando's asking price. And to his credit, he gave a very diplomatic answer. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, Superman 2. It felt like there were some scenes that were like very much shot and inserted later, which here's the reason I bring it up. Actually, is super stylistically similar to Justice League. The Joss Whedon-y shit in Justice League is so out of place and bad. When like Batman is rolling around on the ground being like, Mondays, or whatever the fuck he says. It felt really similar watching Superman 2 and seeing these like goofy ass cutaways to like a local sheriff getting into hijinks with his partner. I'm like, what the Anyway. The more things change, the more they stay the same. That's what I'm saying. They did a new expansion for this Quake. Yes! There is a new level pack, which I'm gonna guess was made by Machine Games? Which is really exciting, because the computer, or the level pack they made for the Quake 1 remake was stellar. Really, really good. And like, they didn't like try to make the most modern level they could with Quake 1 stuff, but they definitely like made it in Quake 1 style using modern development techniques, which was super cool to see. I think some of it was also just like, there was actually a level pack that developers had made. I didn't know if it was modern or... Oh, I think it was current. Like, for a while I thought, or I guessed it might have been level packs they had made back in the day and decided to repackage, but... Where am I going? Lois was toxic as hell in those movies. I remember when she first thought Clark was Superman, she casually leapt out a window to see if he would save her. Oh man, I don't remember that part. It hurts. Help. It must have been so fun to be a game developer back then. I mean, from the sounds of it, that's all you did. But man, if you were like 20 years old in the 90s and could like get on a team like this and just pocket that money, and you flip a game in a year? Jesus Christ. And it's just like 4 or 5 years of intense work, and then you get to retire for life. Being in that environment, man, that'd be really exciting. Yeah, I think timelines have to match up pretty perfectly. No one knew who you were, so they couldn't send you death threats? Yeah! Jump on that dude, Mario stomp him? Alright. There. I think I can stand on him? Yeah. I guess the version of that now is being an app development or new tech development. If you're just like grinding away, spinning up an AI studio so you can sell it. You can sell it to Microsoft or something. That's the game plan there. That's not as exciting though. I feel like actually making games, but in an environment where you get to dictate how much you work, and it's reasonably easy to turn a profit. I don't think any of those things are true and haven't been for a long time. Maybe they never were. I never know that. Like, I feel like it has got to be really difficult to scout games these days. Hey, Willits. Shoutouts. He's currently at Saber Interactive, I believe. Tim Willits. Still in the business of getting games made. Gotta love that. It was a bit sad to see the dream team of id Software slowly break up over the years. They had a pretty good run though, and id Software seems like it's in really capable hands now. Yeah, Devolver has a passionate scouting unit, impeccable taste too. I feel like being a good, like turning a profit on double A, if you want to call it that. It's got to be a combo of not only finding the right like itch.io demos or whatever, the game jam shit. I don't even know where you go. Maybe that's too late. I don't know how deep this stuff gets scouted. But like it's got to be a combo of that and then also the sensibility of finding somebody that can hit milestones and actually ship a game. Who knows? Maybe all that business is just super locked up these days. Oh, I have a shield. Oh, yeah, bandolier. Combat armor? No. Yeah, power shield. Oh, I guess when it's on it. Okay, it uses cells to take damage. That's cool. This level reminds you of one from Halo Combat Evolved. This one? What is it about this level? Just lighting and paneling and stuff? Enzo, I gotta admit, maybe it's time for me to replay Halo Combat Evolved. It's a glorb! Ugh. Angular near futuristic brutalist architecture. Yes. Yes. That's a real Lawrence stream comment. I like it. I guess it's stone, not concrete. It's like a castle, right? What is... The aesthetics of this are so weird because it is just kind of a mishmash of anything that was popular at exactly that moment. It's like techno aliens in a like a Spawn-esque medieval castle, I guess. Skybox is just red alien sky. Very like 90s or like long hair airbrushed van energy. But that was always id Software because they were those dudes. Just like Texas metalheads, you know? Darn it. These guys are thick. Room with the energy walls look like the jail cells. Ah, yes, yes, yes. I think I know what you mean. Look at that. I'm waiting for this guitar sound to come back too. Sort of like very bluesy, acidy, down-tempo, depressive, grungy sound. It's in Diablo 4. There's some acoustic guitar in Diablo 4. There's even some like bluesy acoustic guitar, but it doesn't quite have this level of electronic distortion, I guess. Unless maybe it's in an environment I just didn't hear. Yeah, 9 Inch Nails did the soundtrack for the first Quake, and also I guess worked on the audio design, which it wasn't until I played it recently that I realized how unique that is. Quake's sounds are weird and identifiable, and really contribute to the game's odd, just weird cosmic unease, I guess. That's a very generous term, but... But yeah, the music is just like... The music is actually really similar to Ghosts, which I really like. It's funny, I listened to the Ghosts compilations and stuff before I even heard the soundtrack for the original Quake. Because any version of Quake I could ever find in the days I wanted to play it never had the soundtrack. And it was actually kind of an ordeal to get it working with the soundtrack. So I was like, I don't want to play through Quake when it's just quiet. And then it got easier and easier to actually just mod in the original soundtrack. And then they did the remaster, which actually had the rights to the soundtrack. So now you can just play it the way it should have been played this whole time. But this little grenade launcher. I always like the sound of this guy. Thunk. Let's see. It seems like an odd room to just hit a dead end it, but I guess it had the grenade launcher. Hi-Fi Rush was pretty guitar-centric. They're coming back. There's a lot of guitar in Exoprimal. Man, transparent water. Wow. Well, wonders never cease. I can't remember if transparent water was a thing in Quake 2. So this just goes down here, yeah. Because I remember Quake 1 did not. Not for a while. I think there were mods later. OpenGL stuff. Have a lot of personal stake invested in guitars becoming cool again. I think we might be on the cusp. We've been without guitars for so long. Oh, okay. At least it feels like it's been a long time. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention. Speaking of, new Queens of the Stone Age album came out. I gotta check that out. I listened to the first half, the first track. I was just like, maybe it'll just grab me right away. It didn't. That's fine. I'm still gonna listen to it. I was in like a loud car, and I was like, I'm not. It was one of those things where it was like, I wasn't hearing all the music either. I could tell there were like instruments that I wasn't picking up, and I was like, this isn't right. This isn't the right place for this. I'll wait until I have some like quiet work to do, then I'll put that shit on. Consumers love math rock at the moment? Really? I wonder if they'll clue into things like Muse, Dream Theater. I guess maybe that's why King Gizzard has got traction. I could see Gen Z needing buzzier, more complicated music. If you grow up with the internet, your brain probably yearns for something that can challenge your processing ability. Grind metal. I'm kind of into crabcore. King Gizzard are legit. Their output is crazy. Yeah. Yes. We got a new jam band, everybody. Congrats. It's Grateful Dead, but good. Sorry. I haven't listened to any Grateful Dead, so I can't even talk mess. To me, it's more like Cassiopeia. I can make a more positive connection because was listening to a lot of Cassiopeia. And boy, is it great to have a band that's just so mastered on improvisation they can just knock out an album that's fun to listen to. Oh yeah, Fish. Yeah, I have listened to some Fish. I'm grateful that I don't have a gene that freaks out when Fish is around me, but I know I could. It's a weird thing. Like, I'm not allergic to Fish, and I do mean the band, not the animal / food. But in any other universe, I just would not be able to stand being around it. So I don't know. It's in a weird spot. Ween kind of the same way. I can make it through a Ween song without just losing my mind. I don't know that I could make it through a whole set. I'd probably go to the restroom a couple of times. That'd be my prediction. Take a piss in the cocaine room? Are people doing coke listening to Ween? That's some heavy fuel. Damn. You're gonna get some ideas. Alright, we're going up here now. Are we? Proceed to the security pyramid. Fantastic. I'm gonna guess there's another way I gotta get up there. Yeah, shrooms acid. Feels a little more on the nose. What do I know, though? I haven't been to a Fish concert. Ah, Skull Shooter. Looking for some co-op pals on PlayStation. If anyone's buying on that platform. You've got a Quake buddy. You got a friend in Quake. Oh, I'll just drop down. Quake unlocked. Here's this guy. We've invented a new weird little dude. See if you can beat him, Marine. Nah! Ween did the Knot song in SpongeBob. Hey, speaking of SpongeBob, ow. I got to see SpongeBob's voice actor perform a soul music set at Tiki Oasis. It was awesome. He was like wearing a Hawaiian shirt and had party sunglasses on. He looked like he was like in a light beer commercial. Tom Kenny, yeah. Isn't it Tom Kennedy or something? Tom Kenny? Destroy the grid. I hate you, grid. Where's the grid? So I can use... Oh. Okay, I gotta go destroy the grid first. I got too excited to go into the pyramid. Damn, they really want me to go up there, huh? Is this way, I think? No. Oh! Oh! Major, I have not seen that meme. I don't know, SpongeBob memes are gonna fall a little flat on me. I unfortunately didn't see a whole lot of SpongeBob. Which I actually need to fix. I feel like that would just be good. Good way to wind down the day. Is it hard finding the way like in Doom games? A little bit. This game tried to be a little clever with its level structure. And as a result, like it asks you to backtrack sometimes and it can be hard to remember where to go. But largely it's just a series of hallways. Some of the hallways have like turns. It's kind of easy to miss a button sometimes. But there's a they added a glowing trail in this game, which is kind of nice. Didn't realize the new expansion for this was actual brand new stuff. Yes, there's a mission pack that is new levels. Entirely new levels. Actually, I think I might switch over to that in a minute here. Oh, look at that! They have a break room! Called it! Oh, I guess they were all... No, maybe it's not a break room. It's a person grinder room. Still a cool room to hang out in. Man, is this Baldur's Gate 3? Data CD. Oh, wait. Sorry, wait. Is this Baldur's Gate 3? Nice. I gotta turn it off. Otherwise it won't work next time. There we go. TMG Otis. Thank you for the sub. Ow, ow. Oh. 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 For real, guy? There, sheesh. Oops. Sorry, buddy. Wait, you had a grenade launcher? Oh, I'm not doing so bad. I kept seeing a low number at the bottom of the screen and I thought it was my health. But it was my ammo. Ow! You can play campaign with one player online, so it doesn't have to be local co-op, I assume? Yeah, I think so. I mean, the original game had online co-op. Hey, Tank Infantry. Surprised you're not created your own perfect 16th century Japanese village in Sengoku Dynasty. Yeah, I guess that is a little surprising. Sengoku Dynasty. Is there like a medieval Japan town simulator? I gotta save Earth right now. Pressing matters. Earth saving. I know those farmlands need tending, but I've got to. Oh no! I accidentally hit the switch. I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta squish this dude with the biggest like crucifix press ever. Excellent. Actually, wait, you have to do that. I was like, they put the button on the catwalk, so you have to hit it, but that's how you get the key. Yeah, rip that guy. Why did he have a key on him? Why didn't he leave? Is he stupid? All right, cool. Did it. But yeah, so there's a flow to this. You're kind of like running through the entire Strogg industrial complex thing. So there's kind of a Half-Life energy to it. I don't think it succeeds nearly as well because it doesn't actually hit good cinematic beats of being like a moment where you're outside and now you're back inside, or like, I guess it hits those beats, but they're not accentuated. You don't get that like musical sting. You don't get that moment where you're in a different biome or something drastic happens to take you from scene A to scene B. Definitely no Hey Gordon. Hey Gordon! One for my trophy room. I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to go. I don't think it is. Computer updated. Proceed to security pyramid. Okay. It is now pyramid time. Ew! BK Laser? Hello. Play this game for hours with my dad. First game I've ever played. Had to use GameSpy. This is great. Oh yeah, GameSpy. I remember that. Those stupid little sound effects it had. Gosh, the computers were so dorky back then. GameSpy 3D came with like a voice that would like play whenever you would enter a lobby, and it was just some dude talking, except he put it through some modulator to make him sound like a demon. And I swear to God, unless I'm completely misremembering, every time you would join a lobby from GameSpy 3D, there was this demon voice that would go, "Let's get on with the killing." I was like, that. Hold on a second. What a dumb thing to say, by the way. Let's see what we got here. GameSpy 3D Arcade.
Welcome to GameSpy.
Yes! What is this? Welcome. It's a dude doing his demon voice.
Welcome to GameSpy.
Okay, yeah, that's when it upgraded. You can hear the difference between the 90s and the aughts. The aughts is like clean robot lady voice.
Let's get on with the killing.
Okay. There it was.
Let's get on with the killing.
There's a little own to it as well. I never noticed that before.
Let's get on with the killing.
Let's get on with the killing. I guess somebody thought they had a sweet demon voice and then put a lot of reverb on it. New soundboard? Oh, okay, so Frank, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Well, I guess I'll piggyback off that to say I got a new concept. I got a brand new concept for sub alerts. And it's basically just going to be a giant folder of sound effects with those playing at random. So yeah. The GameSpy 3D launch sound will definitely be in there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, somebody asked about Armored Core. I have not finished Last Raven yet because even though I was following a guide, the mission that was supposed to appear did not. And I could not find the reason in any of the other mission descriptions. So I was a bit annoyed at that. So I basically just did another run and got an ending that I'd already seen. So there's 2 endings I have to get. I'm a bit torn right now because I don't know if I should just try to I don't know if I should try for the ending that I missed again and just do the same thing. I don't know if I should just skip and try to do the hardest ending and just call that even Stevens and look up maybe the ending that I didn't get on YouTube. Unfortunate situation to be in. So, yeah, chat failed me yesterday big time. Not today yet, oddly enough. Why is the thing still... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm excited for Sea of Stars. Turbo Overkill hits 1.0 tomorrow. I'm excited for that. I'm definitely gonna play that game a lot. Is this a boss fight? I think so, yeah. Oh. Destroy the security grid, protecting the industrial region. I'm guessing that's this. Do I just shoot it? Ugh. I hear something big. Oh, thank you, Rez. I'm gonna be doing a bit more of a general stream refresh here in a minute too. And that will include some emote revamp. There it was. Sure do hope this boss comes out before my quad damage runs out. Oh, Bomber's Cyberpunk is about to come out? Oh, man! That's really exciting. Dead. Whoa. Yeah, new JRPG. Trying to remember what the devs who were making Sea of Stars did a game before that was also really, really good. Wasn't a JRPG though. I'm trying to remember what they did. Hold on a minute. Wait, were they were at Stardew Valley, right? The Messenger. That's right. The Messenger was dope. I really like The Messenger. Yeah. I come back to chat, it's just... everybody's saying The Messenger. Correct? Okay, I guess I gotta blow this up. Oh! Rah! Security grid destroyed. I'm such a good Marine. Proceed to next combat unit. Look at this classic exit button. Where's my achievement? Eh.
Initiate scan.
Tragic.
Acquiring. Acquire personnel located. Exiting security grid control area.
Gonna play multiplayer and show the youngins how it's played. Does this game have matchmaking?
The mine and get entrance to the factory.
No, I was about to switch to the other mission pack, the new mission pack. That's what I'm gonna do. Call of the Machine. Oh, look at it already. Just the increased like density of shapes and textures. The cleaner eye lines directing where you should go. Oh. Oh, is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk digital only? This is a little more Quake. Quake 1. I mean, Quake 1 had an episode that was very similar to Quake 2, where you were in an environment like that with the Strogg and machine-like bio-aliens and big old fortresses of imperialist army stuff. Operation Laser Eyes. Let's do it. Oh, drop pod sequence? Excellent. I hope every mission starts like that. This is like a remixed song in the style of Quake 2. It's new music! Or maybe these are remixes that already existed. I don't know. Yeah, already like a more broadly explorable space in this level. But no actual places to go. Just a lot of, like, you get to kind of scout everything. What's that? Spooky sound. Oh, interesting. Some like retro synth. Almost sounds like chiptune. Oh, that's neat. Hey, what's up, Leviathan Pulse?
Computer updated.
Oh no! I wonder. Maybe we have to be on that side. Oh, okay, I see now. Quake 2 has trophy support on PlayStation? That's awesome. A true unification of all video games. Playing Quake on a PlayStation and getting trophies from a company that's owned by Microsoft. Is this out on Switch? I mean, I guess it has a Nintendo 64 levels in it. That implies some kind of contract signing with Nintendo. Oh, only one? Okay. Yeah, good day for gamers. We've had a lot of... I mean, 2023 has just been an astounding year for gamers. We're eating good. So good. I found a way to reorient my life to dedicate as much time to playing video games as healthily possible, really. And I can't even, like, play anything. I can't play everything. Oh, I think it's better than 98. I think so. Just the volume of releases has been so astounding. And honestly, if you put them up against each other objectively, like Ocarina of Time versus Tears of the Kingdom, there's just, like, honestly, there's no contest there. In context, 98 was an important year. It had a lot of important games that pushed a lot of things forward, and things were also moving very fast back then too, so kind of a benefit of that. It was like the capstone to an incredible decade of fast releases and crazy advances. But like, you put them up against each other, And it's like all the things that hit in 98, there's versions of that hit now and hit way, way harder. Just in terms of like kind of being the same price too. That's what kills me. Game prices have hardly gone up. And there are games that are just orders of magnitude more content, more refinement to them. And here I am playing Quake 2 again. Baldur's Gate 3 is some shit. Like, the best RPG that came out in 98 is just nothing like Baldur's Gate 3 in terms of scope and amount of content. And like possible player states. Like the amount of authorship you have over that game is I think it's difficult to be as transformative as the games in 98 were because the medium was still pretty young. But like, I think it counts. I think the authorship you can express in Tears of the Kingdom is still a kind of an industry first. It's a maybe watershed moment is a little strong. I'll say it. Watershed moment. Really like the remakes this year as well. And screw that. Good games are good games. And remakes often end up just being new games. Like Resident Evil 2 remake. It's a new game that's called Resident Evil 2. Same with 4. I mean, it follows beats and like the levels look the same, but they play so differently. And there's different mechanics going on. It's not the same game. Is the brain tadpole thing mandatory? I was assuming it was given how integral it seems, but if not, then wow. Well, I mean, that's in the intro cutscene. Yeah, I think that happens no matter what. I mean, there might be really fast ways to get it out or resolve it. Maybe there's like a super duper hidden way on the Cthulhu boat. So yeah, I don't know. It's a good year. It's a good year. It's not even over yet. We're gonna have like Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3 in 1 year. In a single year. It's like, it's not even that there's good versions of a thing. There's good versions of many things. You think RE1 needs a remake? A re-remake? I don't know. I think RE1 remake is just fine as the definitive version of that game. Otherwise, you'd have to switch it to over-the-shoulder camera, I think. And I don't know. I think at least RE1 ought to stay that style. I fully think Starfield will be the low point of the year. Well, I mean, there was like Redfall. There are lows if you want to look for them. I don't think Starfield is going to be as bad as Redfall. Whoa. Vulnerability. I'm going to accidentally use it. Oh, I guess I'll have to. I do think people will forget about it pretty fast. Maybe. Either one of two things is going to happen. Either the game will fully surprise me with the robustness of its environment simulation. Like there will be all kinds of interactions and player authored experiences that I just did not think would happen. Or it's not going to be that at all. It's going to be like a simplified No Man's Sky. And people will like it, but it'll probably fade faster than Diablo 4. Is the anticipation for Starfield soured? I don't think so. People still seem really juiced for it, so I just have my predictions. Got my hot take blog post ready to go about Starfield. Yeah? Oh, I've already published them. You can't wait these days. Cannot in any way imagine it'll be anything besides a simplified No Man's Sky. Yeah, and it's... I guess it's totally chill if that's what people want, because actually that does sound kind of rad. Like Space Diablo. Like, why doesn't that game exist? And yeah, Bethesda's probably the company that needs to make it. It's just weird that like no one seems to talk about it like that's what it's gonna be. So that's what gets me a little worried, is people talk about it like it's gonna be Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm like, but hey, if people are happy, that's all that matters. And that's the thing is, like, Bethesda's such a crowd pleaser. They've got the magic, and most other companies that I've seen that inexplicably had that magic have lost it. Or like, or eventually people soured on them. I guess maybe Fallout 76 was pretty bad, but everyone seems to have completely forgotten about that, or they think it was another studio. I've never seen any other company like get roasted as hard as Bethesda did with 76, and now everyone just like completely mentally hit the reset button. They got away with it. They're crowd pleasers. I don't get it, man. People are always like, always looking forward to stuff. Yeah, and then 76 apparently has turned around. Like, it definitely has people that stick up for it. I'm not casting judgment on whether or not all the hate was justified or anything. I typically fall on the side of just don't play it. Like, it's more just looking at the way that people talk about the company. Sentiment. Tracking sentiment. People think 76 had a redemption arc. It didn't. It's just playable. Well, that's even more confusing. Like, why would people think that? Why would people be so ready to believe that? No one believes that about Cyberpunk. Or people choose to not believe it about Cyberpunk. I don't know. That's kind of what I mean, though. Is like people tend to find ways to be kind to Bethesda in ways they don't at all find ways to be kind to any other company. So it's just, and there's like other companies that used to have that following, like Blizzard. They lost it because they shipped some games people didn't like. And that's kind of what Bethesda did, but I don't know. So the Bethesda positivity endures, which is kind of heartwarming in some ways. That's the only thing that I guess I wonder at some point, is it going to snap, and is Starfield going to be the game that surfaces a lot of suppressed negativity? But whatever, we'll see where it goes. It's silly to predict how people will act. Even sillier to get worried about how people will act. I don't have any cells. I'll just leave that for a while then. A lot of people get caught up in the dream of the perfect Bethesda game. It really seems like it. To see what people have talked about, to see the list of people let's see here. The list of things that people have said they're excited about for Starfield. And this is largely drawing from YouTube comments and things. But it's like, it's all features that explicitly haven't been shown to be in the game. And I'm like, maybe they're there. Sure one could maybe assume they're there. But until you see it, this is Bethesda we're talking about. Until you see it, maybe you shouldn't just assume the game will do that. Love the sound of this gun. Yeah, I love that sound. I'm gonna shoot him then. Alien skies. Yeah, the only thing that I do that I also think is a little bit weird. Like, people had some really funky takes on performance. It's okay to say that the game should run better. Everyone says that about every Bethesda game ever made, but for some reason Starfield's just like, no, it's fine. Don't be mad. Don't be mad at Starfield. Which again, yeah, I agree, don't be mad, but where's that spirit? Are you going to try online or no? Is there matchmaking? Oh. Oh. 100 sandwiches? It showed like 20. Yeah. There's sandwiches though. It's got to compute the physics for those sandwiches. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, whoa, adrenaline. Oh, I don't know if I can get that. The hope of 100 sandwiches, yeah. I can't wait to stack up sandwiches. Oh, but that's the thing. That's only step one. What about when you realize you can stack up any item? Then you start to understand truly how amazing Starfield will be. Any pick-upable object you can stack. Hey, Undead Mesh. I bet you can't conceive of stacking this. Bethesda are the only ones to do what they do. Gives the game a charm. They largely are. You're right about that. Occasionally you get a masterwork like Two Worlds 2. Turbo Z, thanks for the sub. I think the thing is, when game developers try that stuff, where they try these really lofty concepts, it actually ends up working out a little bit better. Like, what is it? Shadows of Doubt? Sounds like a really ambitious project that would be janky as hell in ages past, but actually, like, is forming up into something. Something like Gloomwood. I think other developers are a lot more responsible about setting scope. Is maybe what it comes down to. But yeah. Oh, I get to be your white noise today. Excellent. Glad to be. We'll get through this shift today. Oh! Thought there would be fewer dudes up there. Game Pass version of Starfield lets you get the pre-order bonus. Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna guess probably not. What is the pre-order bonus? Jeez, am I out of everything? You pay $30 for the pre-order bonus and early access. Oh, there's early access? Oh, no. Oh, no. That means it's not day and date on Game Pass. It's just not. Man. They're getting away with anything they want. Oh, no, they added the hit markers later. All they have to do is like, oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous. Early access. This is how you get around Game Pass. You just arbitrarily say that their actual launch is a week later. No, you're paying for early access now. No, you're not. If you can buy it and play it, the game is out. There is no such thing as early access. It's just a freaking title that people put on things that somehow resets everyone's expectations. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Yeah. If you can pay for something, oh, and you get a product, it is on the market. And like, just because the launch date is a week from now doesn't mean anything. They even started doing that with Call of Duty, and people liked it. People were like, "Yay! I want to pay more to play it early, or I want to pay more for an arbitrary amount of people to have to play it later." Or wait, they started separating the campaign. And everybody was like, no, this is good. Because I guess people don't have the self-control to just play a video game. Baffling. That's fucked up, by the way. That's actually, I think, kind of a... If you can pay to play Starfield earlier than people that subscribe to Game Pass, that's kind of a that's a total mislead on the value of Game Pass. Because, yeah, every game is going to go to Game Pass eventually. That means nothing. I unironically think you should make video essays. I'd sub to that Patreon in a heartbeat. This is the same thing, right? Damn, man, I have no health. That's a stretch. What do you mean? If you are signing up for Game Pass with the value being that you can play games as soon as they're out, there should be no window where people can pay to play it earlier than that. Otherwise, you're not. That's just the truth. It's just semantics at that point, but you're absolutely not playing them as soon as they're out. 5-day early access? That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. Early access is paying a reduced amount for a game that doesn't have all its core mechanics fleshed out and there's a roadmap ahead. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it's just important in embracing that the 1.0 is arbitrary. And they're using arbitrary definitions, such as whatever launches and a release date, to create even more arbitrary senses of value. That's a huge double dip. That makes sense though, man. Starfield's already getting carved up so much. Like they sold a sponsorship on the rendering, the freaking what is it? The resolution scaling tech for PC. They're selling a watch. Ooh. That was a hell of a death. Early access has become less defined. It just bugs me that huge corporations are using that to create arbitrary early access windows, like 4 or 5 days, and they're actually getting people to pay more money for it. Like with Diablo 4, Activision is like mega into this. Like the game was out, it cost $90. It wasn't early access, it was just on sale for $90. With the knowledge that it would go on sale to $70 in like 5 days or whatever. But it's like, nobody gets pissed about that because it's just like, oh, it's just early access. Oh, okay. No, it's not. The game's out. They're just charging more for it. It was hard to judge the reaction via live stream. Was the crowd happy about 14 on Xbox? Also, your thoughts in general on it. I don't know. It was hard to tell. I couldn't really tell. I mean, they were cheering for everything, I guess. I guess by the time the Xbox stuff happened, I was not in the room anymore because I was sitting on the ground at like the extreme awkward angle of the stage, so I couldn't see anything and I couldn't hear anything. The audio in the room was awful. It was like really echoey. So by that point I had left, and I was, I think, like walking around the convention center. I listened to some of it on my phone. Yeah, it was weird to see, like, I guess some people in the subreddit were worried about it. I don't know why. I guess they are just worried that, like, executives are going to come in and muck everything up. That's all I could kind of read, is that just general unease with Phil Spencer being in the room. I don't understand why. But yeah, more platforms is bound to be better for the game. Good 1.0 was when the dev's vision is adequately realized and it would be acceptable for it to go on shelves and never receive a content update. Like pre-internet console games, buy it and go, this is a complete game that has all its core mechanics fleshed out. Games as service thing being now, I don't know what 1.0 is anymore. Well, I think that's the thing. 1.0 was never that. Only in rare cases, I think, could any producer or developer work on a game to their total satisfaction and then release it. I wasn't there, so I can't speak for all video games, but it seems like it's much more a trade-off of like, here's what I think I can do in 3 years, and here's the money that I think I need. And then you work as hard as you can, and you get as close as you can. And then you just gotta ship. It's time to make money. Does it go down? Ooh! Why is he alive? Data disk. Did I locate it? I honestly don't know.
Computer updated.
But like with something like Starfield, the version of the game you're playing in that early access window is the launch version. Maybe there's like a day zero patch that won't go out, but there's like, with the number of delays that game has gotten and how chopped up and businessed out its release strategy is, I don't know. They're straight up finding a way to charge people around Game Pass. Or double dipping, because they know some people that have Game Pass will still pay. It's interesting too, because that's also it's going to be a really annoying content creator thing, because they can shake down everybody that wants to make content, because you have to, like, it's a work thing. If there's only 5 days where people want to watch Starfield streams and you're not one of the people streaming it, you're just going to miss out on all that. Oh, people bring that Xbox Live Party Dude Bro mentality to 14? I don't think that exists anymore. Or it's not as stereotypically connected with Call of Duty players. Honestly, I would be surprised if a Call of Duty Xbox bro could get through 250 hours of JRPG story to get to raids and stuff. Captain Cradle Robber, thank you for the sub. But yeah, I guess you have very solid examples right now, even of early access being done right and wrong, I guess. Air quotes right. Baldur's Gate 3. Shit. Oh. Oh, crap. Man. Ow, ow, what the hell? That was the worry people had when WoW people were moving over. It's mostly unfounded because they just get banned real fast if they said heinous shit, because WoW doesn't have active GMs that do anything, whereas 14 do. People gotta have some faith in reports working. Huh. I didn't know that. I don't suppose I'm, I don't think I'm tuned in enough to the player culture of 14 to be able to feel those ripples. This is the beginning. I guess I got my disc. When was the last Halo game you played? Oh yeah, Halo Infinite. Oh, that's right, there's just random bombs. Search data disk into comms and Nexus terminal. Okay, I will. Ah! Top heavy meat hook, guys. Oh, his guts popped out! Nice. I think this is from one of the expansions. I remember the music in the expansions being a little strange. Who knows, though? Might be fresh tracks. Yeah, Dante, I agree. Final Fantasy XIV's community is bizarrely welcoming and constructive. I have my theories. I saw a lot of this in Overwatch, but I think 14 is very successful in making sure that certain kinds of behaviors are positively rewarded, and that certain negative behaviors aren't acknowledged or like incentivized at all. Yeah, I've run in... I mean, there's always going to be assholes here and there. Especially when it comes to video games for some reason. I've run into my share in 14. But the worst it gets is just like a lone wolf, who the second a dungeon takes too long just bails out. But there's plenty of tools to replace them and plenty of incentive to be the ones to replace them, so... They're really good, I guess, about making all those systems largely automatic and self-sustaining, tied into the economy of the game, and... Ah! They made It Take 2 look like It Take 3. They kind of did, yeah, didn't they? That was what I noticed about the level pack they did for Quake 1. It's like, wow, they kind of made it look as good as Quake 2. Oh no, this doesn't have the rounded doorways everywhere. So many orbs. Quake 3 is a whole game of orb. Oh yeah, the story breeds a sense of togetherness. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I already had one. I think the story, I think also the game experience leans way more into long-term payoffs that are more cerebral. So people that are into quick thrills or quick serotonin release don't really get it there. So I think the nature of its experience and the pacing of it tends to, oh geez, tends to screen out a certain kind of person as well. I mean, that was kind of a... True or not, that was kind of a concept in PC communities for a long time. That if you were able to build a PC, get it running, get the game running, get internet service up and working, like a lot of those things ended up being soft cultural barriers that led a lot of people to think that the internet was just more civilized in the PC space. Finally. God, those guys have a lot of health. I don't think there's crit points on any of the enemies in this. Let's just shoot them until they die. So intense. It just kind of sounds like generic tension movie music. I saw the BFG over there. Damn it. Oh, that was cool. What the hell is shooting those? Oh, there you are. Okay. Here. Speaking flippantly of the music, I kind of miss it. Sounds like it's coming back. Oof. Oh wait, I'm just back out here. The lasers have been deactivated. I'm free to frolic wherever I please. Whoa! Okay. Like a big trash can clam man. All of his guts fall out when he dies. Excellent. The music's back. It's like Wall-E 2. It is. This time, Wall-E's pissed off. Uh-oh. I was lucky. I'm the clam man. Damn it, man. There's a lot of these guys. Wall-E fucked a Mac. Didn't everybody in the aughts? I never owned an iPod. Even then, I was already getting haughty about corporations and how they, like, would wall off their ecosystems. The fact that you had to have, like, an Apple phone to listen to Apple Music, I was like, that's horse shit. Too raised on the ideal internet before tech companies came in and started walling it off. My brother had a Zune. I had a Zune. Zune was a cost-conscious MP3 player. Yeah, Zune was pretty good, actually. Good battery life, light, compact. Biggest storage, really. That was one of those instances of Microsoft, like, actually putting a good product out, but they couldn't overcome the cultural aspects. Apple just had everybody enslaved. They still do, kind of. They're just part of life now. Shunk, shunk, shunk. Sony's getting there. The numbers that Sony pulls out of their digital store is a little scary. It's straight up too much. It's that on top of the fact that they actively manipulate digital pricing. Well, actively is strong. Actively is maybe saying a little too much, but their digital pricing is definitely being affected. Yeah. I don't want to be on Epic's side, but Epic was kind of right in the Epic v Apple thing. He hit me with his little claw. I gotta align the dish and insert the data. Oh no. In the other outer complex. Jeez. How does this compare to the RTX release from a few years ago? I mean, the RTX release is more just to show off and embellish your new video card. This is a more complete remaster, I'd say. More designed for somebody who's never played Quake 2 to kind of see everything there is to see about it. Whoa! Actually, hold on a minute. Somebody said they wanted to... Controllers connected? Oh, okay. Jesus, whatever. Oh. Dear, 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 dear. Okay, just trying to make sure all my mic shit was turned off. I don't know any of these maps. Oh yeah, it's the room with the lava in it. I remember that. Never mind, it's coming back to me now. I don't know the layout of anything, but ah, shit. Got him though. I think I remember using a Homer Simpson model on this map back in the day. And like, I remember asking in chat if it was showing up for anyone else. And somebody was like, "Yo, I see it, it's funny." Where are you? Ah! Yeah, this is multiplayer. got me. Nice. I could have a Shadow Man banner or something. God damn, I'd like a gun. Ah! Hell yeah, gun. Oh, he got me! Damn it! Is there like a gun in here? Oh! Ah! Oh no! Ah. Oh Jesus. Oh no! Straight up, where is everybody? Damn it. What the fuck, for real? Ah. Oh man. Oh yeah, this is the one with the like two guitar riffs that kind of overlap. This is a cool track. Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah. Don't fucking pick the grenades. What's wrong with you? Oh! Oh! That was a good shot. Great. Oh, there's a cave. Wait, there was no, there was Quake 3 Team Arena. What are y'all talking about? Oh, that didn't work. Damn, he got the health. Nice. Oh, no. Ah! I'm just playing on a controller, I think. I want a gun. I want a gun badly. There we go. That'll do. That'll do, pig. Alright. Oh, good shot from the BFG there. Shit. Man, I'm... Damn, that was a good shot. There's no such thing as Quake 2 Arena. Quake 3 Arena is the name of Quake 3. What are y'all talking about? What is anyone talking about? What MP modes are there for were there for Quake 2 or are there? Co-op and online competitive. I don't know if it has matchmaking. It doesn't seem like it does, but you can like look at a server list, which is how it always was done. Ah! This game have rocket jump. Yes. That was actually a mechanic that began in Quake 1. One of the first instances of an emergent gameplay mechanic where like players figured out how to do something not necessarily intended by the developers, but became an important game mechanic that everyone started using. And like the game still worked even when players did it. Now. Shit. That was not a good click. Oh no, that sucks. Thought he was gonna run out of bullets. No, I didn't pick it up. Great. Slippery. There we go. No, Quake 2 doesn't have headshots. Ah. It's like playing Armored Core. Yeah. Oh, wait, you can pick it up again? I thought you couldn't pick it up once you had the gun. Maybe you just have to wait a while. Oh, wow, he got me. The fuck? Why am I not using it? Why isn't it? What the fuck? What happened? Do you have to hit a button? Usually you just use it. Oh, somebody else has it? You were using it? No, I wasn't. He's using it. I want to die now. You were using it. guess I didn't pick it up. Shit. Change weapon. Ooh, need help. Ah. Damn, I need those shells. Shit. Ugh. Ah! Damn. Oh, the ammo spawned. Okay. Shit. Damn, that guy's got good shots. He didn't miss. Oh, AGG. Well, damn. That works really well. No! Damn, man. Whoops. Oh. Oh, 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 oh. I think the same guy just spawned right in front of me. Uh-oh. Classic spawns. God, I am horrendous with the blaster. I hurt somebody. Where are you? Here, here. So much grunting. Ah! Oh, man. Oh, that was my own grenade. I didn't know where it went. Ah. Fuck! Ah. I think I ran into somebody. Hey, Greylark. I ran into something. Fucking hell. There we go. Just want some delicious health. I mean, I'll take armor. Mostly I want health before I try to take another engagement. There we go. Ugh, Doomslayer. Shit, man, you got me. Nice. What the fuck? No! Looked the wrong way. You could just not shoot me for a minute. Oh no, Doomslayer! Shit. How does the game feel? I mean, it kind of feels like it used to. It's fast, smooth, chaotic. Oh, bonked! That hurt. Damn it! Ah, my fan's starting to screech at me. I gotta admit, it is weird playing this game with no lag. Very used to a lot of lag. I used to play with like 450 ping because I was on the most trash internet known to man. Whoa! Damn, that was a good shot. Yeah, an HPB, God. That phrase was only relevant for a very, very, like, short amount of time. Broadband came and saved us all. No, it's just not as hot today, so my camera can stay on. Isn't that nice? Well, let me surveil the time here. I'm gonna take a little break. I need to make some lunch, actually. So, I'm gonna have a little food break here. Let me think about the future of events here. Actually, this might be a little bit longer of a break because I also need to do some writing for Inside Games. Got another episode today, basically just covering the blow up around Baldur's Gate 3. So that'll be exciting. I just want to make sure we hit all the good notes there. And then I'll be back. One way or the other, it is raid night. So if everyone shows up, we'll be playing Final Fantasy XIV. But that's going to be in like 3.5 hours. I might try to put in some more time on Last Raven before that. I guess just try to do this mission list again. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I just skip over to the Zenaida ending and call that a day. I might just do that. So yeah, maybe I'll try to get into that playthrough a little bit. But I might be away from stream for like 30 minutes to an hour to eat and do some writing and stuff like that. So thank you very much for watching so far. Quake 2 is out now. They're not sponsoring me or anything. They did give me a review code, but I'm playing the Game Pass version, so it all works out. Need my sweet achievements. 150 achievements. Love to see it. Okay, I'll be back soon. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy Media Tech in the meantime.